Welcome to this explainer. Today we're focusing on an unsung, silent hero that's resting right now, right inside your body. I want you to just take a slow, measured breath for a second. As you do that, your liver is actively performing over 500 distinct, incredibly complex biological functions simultaneously. It's literally filtering every drop of blood from your digestive system, neutralizing toxins, manufacturing proteins, and regulating your metabolism. It never rests, it never complains. And most remarkably, it does all of this completely without us even knowing. But, this incredible resilience, it comes with a hidden catch, especially as we age.
Okay, let's dive into this. 80 to 100 million. That is the estimated number of Americans currently living with metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease. What we used to just call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease has become a widespread epidemic, and the prevalence of this threat rises sharply in adults over the age of 60. We're not talking about a rare condition affecting a tiny handful of people. This is a massive, systemic health challenge, and it's hiding right in plain sight.
So this brings us to a real medical mystery. The liver is arguably the most resilient organ in the entire human body. Get this, it can actually regenerate from as little as 25% of its original mass. Because of this amazing ability to compensate for damage, serious liver disease can progress silently for years, sometimes even decades. It just doesn't trigger any alarms until it's almost too late. So ask yourself, what if your most vital organ was sending out distress signals, but you were writing them off as just normal aches, pains, or simply the inevitable fatigue of getting older? Here is our roadmap for today. First, the silent liver threat. Second, fatigue and skin changes. Third, abdominal and leg swelling. Fourth, cognitive changes. Fifth, essential liver tests. And finally, how to protect your liver.
Section 1. The silent liver threat, and why age increases vulnerability.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the biology of aging fundamentally changes your liver. The organ you have at 65 is biologically very different from the one you had at 35. Between the ages of 40 and 80, liver volume actually shrinks by 20 to 40%. At the exact same time, blood flow to the organ decreases by about 40%, which obviously reduces oxygen delivery and its overall filtration rate. We also see a decline in the cytochrome P450 enzyme system. Now, that's a lot of scientific jargon, but basically, these are the specific enzymes responsible for metabolizing most of our medications. When they slow down, drugs can accumulate in the bloodstream, raising your risk of toxicity. Combine this diminished regenerative capacity with an increase in visceral belly fat and a higher cumulative medication burden, and well, you have a perfect storm. The liver is constantly overworked and completely under-resourced.
Section 2. Sign 1. Persistent fatigue and uncovering the exhaustion.
We all get tired, right? Normal tiredness improves after a good night's sleep or a relaxing weekend. But liver-related fatigue is fundamentally different. It is profound. It feels entirely disproportionate to your actual level of physical exertion, and it persists for weeks or even months. You might also feel a general sense of malaise, that difficult-to-describe feeling that something is just off in your body. So why does this happen? Well, because a failing liver completely disrupts your energy metabolism. Your liver normally stores glycogen and regulates blood sugar. When it's damaged, that entire system breaks down, driving systemic inflammation and leaving you completely drained of energy no matter how much you rest. Section 3. Sign 2. Skin and eyes, which serve as visible windows to your liver health.
The most famous of these visual distress signals is jaundice, a yellowing of the skin and the whites of the eyes. This happens because of a substance called bilirubin, which is a yellow pigment created during the normal breakdown of old red blood cells. A healthy liver acts kind of like a giant filtration plant, scooping up bilirubin and clearing it out. But when the liver struggles to process it adequately, that bilirubin backs up into the bloodstream, depositing that yellow pigment right into your tissues. If you or a loved one over 60 develop jaundice, it is never something to just wait out. It absolutely warrants a prompt medical evaluation. There are also some subtler physical clues to look out for. Notice spider angiomas. These are little spider-like clusters of dilated blood vessels, usually on the chest or face. And then there's palmar erythema, a distinct reddening of the palms. Both of these actually occur because a struggling liver fails to properly metabolize estrogen, leading to hormonal imbalances that dilate small blood vessels. Then there's cholestic pruritus, which is an intense, maddening itch, usually worst at night, without any visible rash. This happens when bile acids accumulate in the blood and deposit in the skin. Also be aware of dark, tea-colored urine or pale, clay-colored stools, which are clear signs that bilirubin and bile just aren't flowing through the digestive tract like they should. Section 4.
Signs 3 and 4. Swelling in the abdomen and legs. In the abdomen, this fluid buildup is called ascites. You might first notice a vague right-sided heaviness right under your rib cage, or maybe a progressive expansion of your waistline that doesn't really correlate with weight gain. Many older adults write this off as benign bloating, but ascites actually occurs when severe liver scarring, which is cirrhosis, impairs albumin production and increases blood pressure in the liver's portal vein. This condition is called portal hypertension. This high pressure literally forces fluid out of the blood vessels and right into the empty space of the abdominal cavity. It's essentially a mechanical failure of the body's plumbing.
So, the crucial point is knowing how to tell liver-related swelling apart from other conditions, like heart failure. Think of your liver as a protein factory, producing something called albumin. Albumin acts like a sponge inside your blood vessels, holding fluid in. When a failing liver stops making enough albumin, the fluid leaks out, gravity takes over, and it pools right in your ankles and lower legs. While heart or kidney disease can also cause ankle swelling, a doctor can run specific tests to find the true culprit. If albumin levels are low alongside abnormal liver function tests, well, your liver is waving a massive red flag.
Section 5. Sign 5. Cognitive changes and the fascinating brain-liver connection.
This is perhaps the most alarming and least recognized warning sign. When the liver fails to clear neurotoxic byproducts, most notably ammonia, which comes from protein digestion, those toxins circulate through the blood and eventually cross the blood-brain barrier. This causes a neurological impairment called hepatic encephalopathy. In its early stages, the signs are tragically subtle. You might see slight confusion, increased daytime sleepiness, or mild personality shifts, like suddenly becoming more irritable. As it progresses, it can cause severe disorientation and a distinct flapping tremor in the hands known as asterixis. Far too often in older adults, these symptoms are misdiagnosed as simple dementia or depression, entirely missing the failing liver at the root of the problem.
Section 6. Essential liver tests, or how to decode your lab results. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're looking at during blood work. Let's demystify that alphabet soup on your lab report so you can have informed conversations with your doctor. ALT and AST are enzymes that spill into the blood when liver cells are actively facing hepatoscellular injury, meaning they're being damaged. Alkaline phosphatase and GGT tell us if the bile ducts are functioning correctly. Bilirubin checks the red blood cell processing and waste clearance. Meanwhile, albumin and your PT/INR clotting factors tell us if the liver's manufacturing plant and synthetic functions are still operating at full capacity. If you have metabolic risk factors, you should definitely ask your doctor about non-invasive assessments too, like the FIB-4 index or a liver ultrasound.
Section 7. How to protect your liver. Taking action today.
Now for the good news. Thanks to the liver's remarkable regenerative capacity, there are evidence-based, highly effective lifestyle interventions you can start today to reverse early damage. First, achieving a healthy weight is absolutely paramount. Dropping just 5 to 10% of your body weight significantly reduces liver fat. Second, eliminate or dramatically reduce alcohol. Your liver always prioritizes metabolizing alcohol over anything else, which causes immense strain. Regular exercise actually reduces liver fat independently of weight loss. And here's a surprising and delightful fact. Drinking 2 to 4 cups of filtered coffee daily has one of the strongest evidence bases for protecting against liver disease. Lastly, be ruthlessly protective of what you ingest. Avoid taking more than 3 grams of excess acetaminophen a day, and steer clear of unregulated hepatotoxic supplements.
Let's move to our summary and see how this builds. To quote the source material directly, the liver works in silence for a lifetime, filtering, detoxifying, manufacturing, and regulating without any sensation or signal of its activity. I mean, that perfectly encapsulates the silent sentinel within you. Its silence is a biological gift for sure, but it becomes a severe liability if we ignore the subtle whispers it sends when it is in distress. The symptoms we've explored today, persistent fatigue, skin changes, abdominal and leg swelling, and cognitive shifts, they are not just inevitable realities of getting older. They are cries for help. By managing your weight, staying active, enjoying your daily coffee, and insisting on comprehensive blood work, you can empower yourself and ensure your liver continues its extraordinary work for decades to come. So I leave you with this final provocative question. Knowing what you know now, what steps will you take to protect your silent hero today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and here's to your